They're my dog, they're my twin, they're my cuz, they're my girl, they're my friend, they're my homie, they're my round, they're my partner, them. They say that we bout to lose, I say we gon' win.
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Thursday, April 10th, 2025. I'm Sicko Skeets here in the Classic Factory. It's on the sign, and it's on my shirt. And joining me, making the magic happen, super producer JD.
Hello.
There he is. Here we are, just the two of us, once again here in the factory.
Yeah.
But Tass Melas is back.
He's back tomorrow. Yeah.
Tomorrow. Didn't know that. So that's exciting. We'll have some worst of the week. He was already teasing me in the Slack with. So we'll have Tassie back tomorrow. But we got a lot to talk about before we get into the basketball. We had another wedgie. Michael Porter Jr. delivering this one. And here's ESPN on the call.
It's on to Porter Jr. Great contest. And a wedge by Porter Jr. That'll be a jump ball.
Bill Rafter used to call that a neck ball.
Neck ball. We led the nation in that.
Yeah, wedge, neck ball, wedgie, whatever you want to call it. It's number 46. They keep coming here before the start of the play-in tournament next week, before the start of the actual playoffs, and you love to see it.
Oh, 51 on pace for.
We almost had a couple other wedgies last night. There was one in the Mavericks-Lakers game. PJ Washington fouled on the shot. It goes up. Yeah. It sticks for a second, but then it drops out right away. And we would have counted it because we count them on a foul shot if you go to the line.
Of course.
And then there was another one in the Bulls-Heat game. Josh Giddey nearly stuck one. Again, it sort of stuck there for a second and fell right back out. So anyway, we'll take one. Up to 46.
Sure.
And we're feeling pretty good over the last couple weeks here. On today's show, I'm going full sicko mode. I'm bringing back the weird bit where I name 10 all-NBA teams. We did this a couple years ago, I think is when it first started. We may have been back in the Zoom days or, in the yard days.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe it was COVID days, I guess, for all I know. I don't know what was going on. But anyway, then I took a couple of years off. We're bringing it back. I'll name 10 all-NBA teams.
Everybody was asking for it.
It's the dumbest thing I do. and again, I'll get to it later in the show, but I put way too much time into it for the first couple hours.
Yeah.
Yes, hours. And then I'm like, I look at the entire doc and I'm like, and then I just start moving everything around.
Right. Yeah. Last night, you're like, hey, did you take those lower thirds yet?
I know.
And I'm like, no.
It's so stupid though. But anyway, we'll get into that later.
Well, you don't want people, atting you for snubs.
You don't think? Oh, you think I've nailed it? It's gonna be perfect. Yes,
it's 100%.
50 for 50, not a snub to be seen. No, it's my point is, it's so ridiculous when you're on the 6th, 7th, 8th teams. It's who cares? I mean, I start saying who cares while I'm doing it.
Right.
But we'll get to that. We start though in Dallas, an emotional return for Luka Doncic, and man, does this guy know how to meet the moment or what? Wow, the Wonder Boy, the donk, dropped 45 points on 16 of 28 shooting. He filled up the rest of the box score as well. Lakers win 112-97. They clinch a top 6 spot, so they are into the actual playoffs. But what a bizarre and emotional game for, of course, what was a bizarre and emotional trade. When we had that a couple months ago, and it really just reinforced to me how much Luka did not want to be dealt from Dallas, and of course how much the Mavericks fans didn't want him to be traded and are justified in how they reacted to this weird deal, because man, it was emotional. JD, I don't know if you saw the clip. They had the video tribute for Luka before the start of the game. It was part of player introductions, right?
Yeah.
And, it's the whole 2-minute video montage of him as a rookie and all these incredible buzzer beaters and working in the community. And he was tearing up like crazy.
Yeah.
Just the tears in his eyes and getting all red and head down. You could see him ask for a towel halfway through. And you can also see or hear, in my mind, the ESPN director, "Get me a better shot!" Because we had that side shot of him for a long time, and it was fine.
Yeah.
But then it was like, we got to see those eyeballs. Yeah. So then they got us the one from the front.
They probably used the center court cam for that.
Yes, they did.
Wow. Yeah. And it's like being dumped by a girlfriend, like, out of the blue. Weren't expecting it.
Sure.
Then you meet for a drink and she shows you this lovely tribute video of all the good times you had together.
When the phone makes you one on your iPhone? Look at this. Yeah, I remember. I was a part of it. And I didn't want it to end.
Yeah, exactly.
Very, very, I guess, odd decision to do the T-shirts that said "Thank you for everything" in Slovenian. Yeah. I mean, again, this is not on the fans at all. I'm talking about the organization. Right. That's a weird ass move to me.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was wild. Marcus Thompson II described it as a memorial service for a relationship severed too soon.
Oh, okay.
So it goes to what you were speaking of, and it did have that feeling. And you're watching it going, man, how's this guy gonna play?
Yeah.
Not a problem. He moved on.
Yep.
I guess from his girlfriend to bigger and better things. He was cooking them. He had 31 points in the first, 14 in the first quarter, 31 and a half, finished with 45, like I said. The three was dropping for him, and when he has that going, he's basically unstoppable. It was a surreal scene where fans were cheering for him.
Yeah.
And I think the Mavericks crowd was tremendous. Yeah. Because they showered Luka with love and applause. They chanted his name when he checked out. I swear there was like an MVP chant, like a faint MVP chant at one point when he was at the line late. Then on the other side, they leaned in to the Fire Nico chants for Nico Harrison, GM, who obviously traded Luka Doncic. Numerous Fire Nico chants. Started early. Anytime somebody was at the line, those fired up. And they just got louder as the game went on. And then, they still cheered the Mavericks, I thought, in the fourth quarter when their boys were putting up a fight.
Sure.
And were still in it. So check. I thought they nailed it as a crowd. A conflicted crowd, of course. And a bunch of Lakers fans mixed in, too.
Yeah.
Because they're everywhere. But I thought they played their part.
Yeah. Way to go, Dallas.
As for the game itself, again, it was the Luka show, and then they finally started trying to slow him down and get the ball out of his hands, and that's when LeBron took over. He had 13 of his 27 points in the final frame. Also, LeBron's 1,561st career regular season game, which moved him past Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for sole possession of second place on the NBA's all-time list there. Robert Parrish has the record, 1,611. So LeBron goes one more year. He's got him.
Yeah.
Right? Do I have my math right? Yeah. One more year, fairly good health, and he will eclipse that. And there's been no talk that, LeBron's shutting it down.
Nope.
So I assume he's going to go and get this record at some point next season.
He's got another kid he wants to play with, I guess.
But I think it was Dragonfly Jones had a tweet going on, back to the Luka part of it all. Here's Luka. He's holding back tears. He could barely watch this tribute. Mm-hmm. He's a top 5 player in the world, wherever you rank him. He wanted to spend his entire career in a Dallas Mavericks jersey, and they ship him out. Because, I don't know, because he's lazy, fat, whatever weird things they were coming up with as their reasoning. Didn't want to pay him. It's perplexing still to try and understand that move.
Yeah.
And, it very easily could go down as the worst trade of all time. It could. You have to see how it plays out. Do the Mavericks go on a Red Sox they traded Babe Ruth to the Yankees and don't win for 100 years type run here?
Right.
And what happens with Luka and the Lakers and how many titles does he potentially win or not? You got to see it play out. But it's right there that it's like, what were you doing? It's so odd a guy at an elite level in his prime who wanted to be there, who was homegrown talent, is shipped out. You just don't see this in not only just basketball, but let alone sports.
It's ripe for conspiracy theories and all of that,
This is the age we live in. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen some crazy ones, but anyway.
But do you want to explore those or no?
I mean, not really.
Okay.
I mean, the whole thing of wanting to move the team, the no casino thing. I mean, as things like last night, it gives it credence. You know what I mean? It's just like, it is crazy. It's like, why would you do this? And
it makes it crazier when the guy comes back into your own barn and hangs 45 on you without breaking a sweat.
Right.
I saw other tweets about this. God, it would have been the funniest thing ever. It would have been great on court when he's getting interviewed by Lisa Salters. Luka is. Obviously, everybody's dapping him up. Even Cuban interrupts her for a second to dap him up and probably whisper in his ear, I would have never traded you. Somebody, how did they not come over from the Lakers organization, hand him a beer, fire up the hookah.
Yeah.
You know, come on. I mean, at least the beer. Okay, the hookah's a little far-fetched, but the beer, absolutely.
Ready to shotgun, too. Not regular drink, like just...
Oh wow.
Like
somebody's got the knife,
got the
bottom.
It's all there,
And then he finds Michael Finley. Where's Michael Finley?
Yeah.
Yeah. That would have been amazing. So it was entertaining. I thought ESPN did a pretty good job with the whole hype into the game. You know, they were obviously had a boner for this one.
Oh, yeah.
My other takeaway or weird thing, Nora was watching with me. She hated the floor because the Mavs had that alternate court with their alternate jerseys. They had the white jerseys on. That, you know, the Mavs sort of scripture, and then like it's like sort of almost like a light gray court with like a weird design in it. I don't know. It didn't play. It felt really bright.
Yeah.
Like the lights felt jacked last night in the arena too. So maybe she had a point. I don't know. Maybe people in the stream team had an opinion on how that looks. Like she was like, I like the design of it, but it's the brightness.
Yeah.
It looks strange. I sort of agree with her.
Yeah. Once you get those lights full blast, it can't be that bright.
Yeah. And then maybe with the white jerseys and the yellow there at the Lakers. So anyway, the Lakers are into the playoffs. The Mavericks, we'll get to them in a second, but they're looking like actually they're officially in the play-in tournament because the Phoenix Suns want to go on vacation. Any other thoughts that you had from the Luka return and the production and all that?
Yeah, not really.
No,
I think you got it.
Yeah, it was again bizarre is the best word to describe it.
Yeah.
And I keep coming back to Justified for Mavericks fans in how they reacted to the trade, because that sort of just summed it all up. Like the crowd was obviously behind him. He obviously loved Dallas and was having an emotional moment. And they were right to be like, that's the most batshit crazy trade of all time. He didn't ask to be traded. What are we doing?
Yeah.
And then didn't help that Anthony Davis did not have a good game either.
Right.
Bad timing for AD.
Yeah.
And I think he's playing through injury, and he's talked about that, but like it was like this guy had like 4 points at half while Luka had 31.
Yeah.
So anyway, strange one. What a weird way to sort of wrap up the regular season, but that is now done. Other games last night. Harrison Barnes swished a three-pointer at the buzzer as the Spurs stunned the Warriors with the 114-111 win. Now, the Warriors entered Wednesday's action in a four-way loss column tie, but with a win against the Spurs last night, on the schedule, which looks like a gimme, they didn't really have much to worry about. They're like, oh, that'll be a gimme. No. Despite building a 14-point lead, the Warriors were outscored by 15 in the fourth, and they lose that heartbreaker thanks to a guy who used to play for them, just like Luka with the Mavs. Harrison Barnes hits a three. Harrison, my old friend, and it was a crazy, crazy play that he hit here, and we'll show it to everybody on YouTube. Just a little fake sort of dribble handoff, lean, bang, and swishes it, and then just the celebration ensues. This is for a Spurs team that's not playing for anything here, just playing for pride. But Barnes was making plays all down the stretch. He stole an inbounds pass from Jimmy Butler with like 45 seconds to go. Then we saw Castle set up an absolutely sick dime to Keldon Johnson under the rim. Spurs went up 2 with 11 seconds to go. They did a great job of forcing the ball out of Steph Curry's hands. He like threw a looping pass to Draymond, and then Barnes fouled him. And he was like, what, you're up 2? I mean, what are you doing? But it was almost like he was like, nah, it's Draymond Green. He'll probably miss. Now, he didn't. He went 2 for 2 at the line, but it gave the Spurs still enough time. There's like 3 seconds to go. They had the timeout. They advanced the ball, and then Harry Bow goes boom and hits the 3. And it's a big loss for the Warriors. Like, it drops them substantially in the Western Conference standings, and we'll show you the picture in a second, the playoff picture. But it's reminiscent to me a little bit of last season when Devontae Graham, he hit a game-winning floater versus the Nuggets in one of the last games of the season. And that was a weird loss that dropped Denver out of sole possession of first place in the West into a tie with OKC and Minnesota. Now, the Nuggets would eventually finish second. Could have been the number 1 seed if they had won that game, and then they maybe took care of the business in the last game like they did. And who knows, like maybe the Nuggets beat the Mavericks in the second round instead of losing to the Wolves in the second round. Like it changes where you are in your positioning and all that if they had been the number 1 seed, but obviously that went to OKC. So it's like, I don't, and this is maybe even crazier because it's dropping you from the playoffs to the actual play-in the Warriors case. But similarities in terms of the team it was against, the Spurs, and blowing a big lead and basically a game winner because the Devontae Graham game, they were down like 23 points and they came back to win. This one, not as bad, but they were down, what did I say, 15 or something like that. Yeah. And then Harrison Barnes hits the 3. So we'll see with a game or two left for some of these teams because, a lot can change in terms of switching and jumping teams. But crazy shot. Must have felt good for Harrison Barnes.
Oh, God.
Just to do it against his old team, too. And the replay's very funny here. Keep your eye after we go to the second sort of camera look on the official. Keep your eye on 2 things. Chris Paul, I swear to God, is complaining to the officials about something. He can't even celebrate. He has to complain. And then watch the official get bumped here. Boom! As the crowd takes him out, as the celebrating Spurs mob bumps into him. Imagine he called a tech.
On everybody.
Calls a tech on everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to call 1 million techs. How would that work? There'd have to be a lot of free throws for the Warriors. Steph Curry just gets to keep shooting free throws for the win.
That's right.
Crazy Spurs win and a wild Warriors loss. And I keep coming back to that turnover that I think it was Curry inbounding to Jimmy Butler, and it was just a little sloppy there. And Harry Bowe was right on the spot, got his hands in there, and came up with it. That was a real big play from him, and then he did the bigger one where he hit the 3. So good stuff from him. We also had Jokic leading the Nuggets past the Kings, 124-116. Denver's first game without Coach Malone. You got David Adelman calling the shots. So they take care of business. Like, look, they beat the Kings. Let's not get too excited, but it was quality in the sense that Jokic did his thing still. Christian Brown had 25. Porter and Gordon, they were contributing. A little less Westbrook, a little more Jalen Pickett. A lot of people were noting that. Okay, maybe that's was part of this whole firing in the first place for Malone and Calvin Booth. But yeah, good win and an important win because with 2 regular season games remaining, the Nuggets are tied with the Clippers, who took care of business last night against the Rockets, who sort of sat everybody. Those teams are tied, the Nuggets and Clippers, for the number 4 playoff seed in the Western Conference. And we'll show you that playoff picture now because we're getting close, everybody. Real close to our actual matchups in regards to the play-in games and, of course, what will happen in the first round. We know now the West 9-10 game because with their loss to the Thunder, the Suns were eliminated from play-in contention. Thank God. Oh, my God. I couldn't even, pretend to get excited for a play-in game from them. So I'm glad they're out of it. I'd rather it be Kings and Mavs. So those 2 teams, Dallas and Sacramento, they'll face off next week. We know that 9-10 matchup. Home court is still to be decided. So I don't know if it's going to be in Dallas or if it's going to be in Sacramento. That's, I believe, still up in the air as I try and make sense of all this. I think it's going to be Sacramento, but enough games left where they could jump each other. Right. And then you see the rest of the matchups. Nuggets, Clips, Lakers, Grizzlies. And then the Eastern Conference we sort of talked about more yesterday. That feels like that's all but locked up. Yeah. I always get to this point in the season where I'm like, it doesn't feel like next week.
No.
Like playing games and like super important games like win and you're in or win and you stay alive in some cases. Just like the stakes like obviously get ramped up. And then come next weekend we got the playoffs. Like it feels somehow it should be here by now, but also it feels like 3 weeks away, 4 weeks away still to me. I don't know, it's a weird thing. I always feel that way. One of those Eastern Conference games worth showing you though was Giddey going nuts, 28, 16, and 11. Bulls beat the Heat 119, 111. But wild sequence from this one down the stretch. Miami trailed 114, 106. Okay, so they're pretty big, but Tyler Herro comes down and he's going to nail a 3. He's wide open on the wing. Come on, Kevin Herter. Horrible closeout. So he hits that 3, cuts the deficit to 5, just under a minute to go. All right, play a little defense here, Heat. And that's what they do. They're going to sort of like get Coby White in a bit of a tough spot. Good job by Herro here. He like almost hides behind the other offensive player to get the steal, but then decides, instead of taking the easy layup, because no one was there, Coby White was not catching him, he shoots the 3, misses it. Herter gets the board, dribbles up, finds Buzelis for 3 in the corner, and that was ball game. Wow. I mean, that was ballsy, and in retrospect, pretty stupid, because like there was still enough time, obviously, get the layup and then just play defense still, and you're still gonna have a chance to then get your 3. But he went full, I don't know what you call that. That's like obviously Curry. I mean, I don't even think I've ever seen Curry do that, but I guess it feels like Kobe would do that, something like that. But he said after the game, I was feeling that shot. It's as simple as that. It's the shot I was feeling. Looking back on it now, obviously after missing the shot, I should have laid the ball up. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, he's a big pickleball guy.
Tyler Herro?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
He has said that he thinks he's better at pickleball than he is at basketball. He's actually said that.
I mean,
it's hard
on one hand, is that far-fetched?
No, not at all.
Really?
No, yeah.
Although he is one of the, I mean, this season he was an all-star, so he's like, you know, wherever you put him. He's a top 30, top 25 player in the NBA.
I mean, is he Anna Lee Waters? I don't know. Is he a Ben Johns?
Could he be Ben Johns?
Could he be Ben Johns?
Tomorrow? No way.
No. Yeah, but he has said that in the past. He said, I love pickleball. I could be better at pickleball. Anyways, taking a shot like that is like a poaching from your partner, and then you mess it up, right? Like, and then it flies off, and it's like a home run. That's what he did last night.
I thought you were going to say it would be comparable to, like, because I've only played a couple times with you, but, like, you want to smash that damn thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But you start to learn. Oh, I thought you were saying poaching was meaning, like, I'm taking it from you.
Yep, I'm taking it from my partner.
Yeah,
like it's an easy shot from my partner. My partner's behind me, and then I decide to
bang,
like exactly that. Slam it, and then it flies off.
Yeah, you start to learn quickly playing pickleball. It's like, nah, keep dinking and dumping, man.
That's right.
Keep dinking and dumping. It's like, honestly, it's like playing ping pong for me.
Oh yeah, it's similar.
It's like you go for the smash, it's got like a 25% success rate.
Right.
But if I just keep returning it,
just wait.
more
for
likely than not, you're going to screw up. And that's how I play
Exactly.
ping pong, at least. So, yeah, he went for the Herro shot. And he's aptly named Herro, but yeah, you wish you had that one back. I think you got like I said, the defense was awesome. He played it perfectly. Like Coby White, I swear to God, didn't know he was there.
Right.
Because he sort of like there was like a little blocker in front of him, and he just like came around, and like poked it out right away, had the layup, but he pulled up for 3. And part of it's probably because he just hit 1 too.
Yeah.
And maybe he didn't have a great idea on how much time was left
Yeah.
on the clock, or maybe score in time. I don't know. But anyway, Bulls win. That could be important for them hosting the Miami Heat. Looks like they're going to in the play-in game. So we're going to have these two teams very likely running it back. And that's what I got on last night. You know, some other games. There was like, you get into these games like Orlando beats Boston. Well, no one cares because Boston is literally playing nobody. They didn't play any of their starters.
Right.
Like, you know, so I barely even kept my eye on that game. So, okay, good game from Franz, whatever. Paolo didn't even play that well. Raptors won. I guess that's important if you had the over. 30.5 wins was their over-under win total in the preseason. Tass and I both took the over because we're homers. And they need one more win.
Yeah.
One more win in their final 2 games. So that's exciting. Utah beat Portland. Sure, that was an overtime game. It was an exciting game. It's a weird Utah win, but yeah. And then we already talked about OKC beating Phoenix, no problem. And then the Clippers beat Houston again. They were sitting everybody. You get some exciting games because the stakes are so high in terms of playoff positioning, or in the Luka case, obviously returning to Dallas. And then you get some of these games where you're like, oh, okay. It's like, yeah, they're just shutting down guys because they want to keep everybody healthy.
Of course.
And that's what you should do.
Yeah.
So let's pivot to today's main topic.
All right. Strap in.
I don't think this is going to take that long. I know I have a lot of all NBA teams to share, but I'm not going to like go into stats on every guy and like my reasoning for every guy. I'm just going to throw it at you. And
You're throwing it at me?
Well, you, yes,
Okay,
and
cool.
the listener and the viewer here on YouTube. Take a second, hit the like button, subscribe if you're on YouTube, and podcast listeners, 5-star ratings and reviews. We'd really appreciate it, especially as we get ready here for the play-in tournament. We might start doing some shows after games, like late at night when we get into the playoffs and the play-in, and we'll see.
Yeah, you got to hit the bell. That way you know.
Hit the bell.
It's very important.
Yes, at this time of the season, very important.
Yeah.
But yes, it's time for Sicko Skeets 10 All-NBA teams. I have a few rules with this. First rule, I'm going with guys had to have played or will play 50 games this season.
Okay.
Obviously, when it comes to the actual All-NBA awards and other awards, you got to hit that 65-game threshold. Yeah. 50.
Yeah.
50's enough for me. That's important because Luka Doncic will very likely make the cut. He played his 49th game last night. I will think he'll play at least one of these last two games, if not both. So he'll probably get there. John Morant as well. He's at 48. Will he play in the final two games? That one maybe not a lock, but let's pretend he gets to 50. So I'm going to put Luka and John Morant in, but that means no Wembanyama, and that means no Kawhi, and that means no Porzingis, or Zion, or Banchero, or LaMelo Ball. So there are some notable names that you will not see in the mix here. And it's generally because of that. I mean, all those guys would have been on one of the 10 All-NBA teams. My second rule for this Sicko experience and experiment.
And it's experience.
Yeah, it's an experience for sure. Each All-NBA team had to consist of 3 bigs, so centers and forwards, and then 2 guards. Again, this differs from what they do now. It's just like top 5 guys, top 15 guys really, and regardless of position. But I like keeping the position here. It makes it a little more difficult. I'm then debating between obviously the bigs and the guards. I do learn here when doing this, it's like there's way more guards that get squeezed. That makes sense because there's more positions for the bigs as it is. But a couple notable snubs when we get to the guards. I do cheat a little bit as we get into like the 8th, 9th, 10th teams. Guys that are like combo guards and forwards, I just put them where I want to. So you'll see.
Okay.
So let's do it. All NBA first team. Jokic, Giannis, Tatum, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Donovan Mitchell. Again, we're going 3 bigs. We're going 2 guards. Most of the time I will have a center and then 2 forwards and 2 guards like we do in this case. This is a no-brainer. I think the only one people are going to be like, really, is Donovan Mitchell. There are other guys, when it comes to the actual All-NBA team, who might get that 5th spot. Like Jokic, Giannis, Tatum, and SGA, like those are your 4 locks on the All-NBA first team. That 5th slot, some people will tell me Donovan Mitchell isn't even the best Cavalier this year. That's like, okay. I think it was Basketball Poetry said there's a little Miami Heat era Jimmy Butler in the way that Donovan Mitchell sacrifices touches and shots to his teammates during some of the normal games, but he ramps it up against some of the stiffer competition. Like, look at his numbers against the Celtics. I think that's sort of true. So, I'm giving him the credit. Somebody's got to be there from that incredible Cavs team. He is awesome. He is their closer. Has his numbers dipped a little bit from some of his previous seasons? Yeah, but he's still elite, and he could do that, I believe, if he wanted to. So I'll put him there. All-NBA second team. Karl Anthony Towns is my big man, my goofy. Evan Mobley, another Cavalier. LeBron James, Steph Curry, the old guys still got it, and then I'm putting Jalen Brunson as the 5th guy on the All-NBA second team. So a couple Knicks, a couple old guys, OGs in LeBron and Curry, and then I've got Mobley. I feel good about this one. I do take into consideration defense into some of these positions and some of these selections. Big case for Mobley. And then LeBron and Steph, it's just wild. I almost put Steph first team. I did almost have Mitchell out and almost put Curry, but ultimately I feel a little better putting Mitchell in the first team. Put Curry there. We're good. All right.
Okay, great.
All-NBA third team. It starts to get a little more difficult, but I feel good about this team. Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to be my center, so to speak. Alperen Şengün, another big. I feel like people are going to think I have him too high, but I like where I have him. Jalen Williams, J-Dub from OKC. And then my 2 guards are Anthony Edwards and Cade Cunningham. I had a near panic attack last night when I did this for hours, right?
Yeah.
I looked at it a million times. I've gone through every roster. I feel like I got to make sure I at least have guys in consideration. I don't want to overlook anyone. Mm-hmm. Long story short, after hours of doing it and stepping away, and then I don't know how it happened, but it suddenly popped in my head. I go, oh crap, I don't have Anthony Edwards. I just forgot him.
Right.
Because I do so many like copying and pasting and moving around that I must have copied and pasted wherever I had them, 2nd or 4th team, and then I moved them, but I didn't put them in.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I got so worried that you had already grabbed all these lower thirds, but that's why I was checking in a panic.
Oh, yeah.
Because I completely forgot Anthony Edwards.
Wow.
And now...
I mean, that would even I would have noticed that.
Really?
No.
No, you
probably
wouldn't
not.
And like now I'm having more panic because I'm saying that I forgot Anthony Edwards. Well, who else did I forget? Let's hopefully not anyone of note. We'll get to snubs, but hopefully I just straight up didn't forget somebody.
I'll throw all this into ChatGPT and see if it comes back.
Who did Skeets miss in his 10 All-NBA selections? Okay, so that's Jaren Jackson Jr., Şengün, J-Dub, Ant, Cade Cunningham. There's going to be a lot of guys here on the 4th team that I think a lot of people would bump up, and that's fine. This is my team. Okay, 4th squad. I went Domantas Sabonis. His numbers are unreal. I put Kevin Durant here. I'm curious if he'll actually make... Oh, he can't make the actual All-NBA teams because he's not going to hit that 65-game threshold. So don't worry about that. But I put KD here. His percentages are wild. Even if that guy's walking around with like a dark rain cloud above his head. That's what I always think about with Kevin Durant. I don't know why. I know that's sad, but it's what it feels like. Like I used to have the sad Care Bear when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he reminds me of.
Yeah.
So like I thought I was going to be asked on the Raptors show yesterday. Shout out to Blake and Matt for having me on. It was in the rundown. We never got to it, but like, where would you like to see KD go? And I was going to make this whole thing about like analogy about like, it's tough. He's obviously one of the greatest ever. He could still give it and bring it on any given night when it comes to scoring, even defense. But man, that cloud comes with him. Are you ready for that cloud? And maybe that's not fair, but feels like it. Pascal Siakam is on this squad. Luka Doncic, I'm putting on the 4th team here. And I will say, like, I did take into consideration at times, like if you only played 50 games to a guy that played 80 games, like that matters to me. But Luka is better than a lot of guards, maybe, that I have on my list ahead of them. But it is for All NBA this season, and he's going to play just 50 games if he gets there, if he plays one more. And then I went Darius Garland, and I think that's my most fascinating thing to see with the real teams is where the 3, maybe 4. Jared Allen, no, he's not going to make one of the top all 3 teams. But those 3 guys, do they spread them out? The Cavaliers. Is Mitchell, Mobley, and Garland 1, 2, 3 in some order? Are they all on one of the 2nd or 3rd teams? Like I can't wait to see how the votes shake out with that because I think all 3 are deserving, and I think all 3 will be in there. But we'll find out soon enough. I don't know when they announce those. So that's the 4th team: Sabonis, KD, Siakam, Luka, and Darius Garland. All NBA 5th team: Ivica Zubac of the Clippers. Had to show that guy some love. The big beef himself. I put Anthony Davis here. He didn't have a good game last night. Anthony Davis is still damn good. He hits the 50-game mark. Poor guy's been completely clowned on because he got traded for Luka Doncic. It's not his doing. I don't think he called that trade in. But he's still good. He's on the 5th team. I put Jimmy Butler here. The stats are not going to wow you, but obviously the impact does. It's what he contributes in terms of win shares and stuff like that is still unreal. Yeah, I probably have him a couple spots too high, but Jimmy Butler's a winner in my mind. Tyler Herro, he goes here, which is ironic, I just realized. 2 former teammates there. And then Tyrese Halliburton. It's at this point of building these teams, when it comes to the guards, I changed it a million times. Because I swear the next 10 guards you're going to hear, they're all so close. Starting probably with the next team. Herro and Halliburton felt like a little bit up of a lot of the other guys. Some because of injury, some because of poor efficiency, some because of lack of team success. So Herro and Halliburton, they're on the 5th team. And we'll move to the 6th team because I went back and forth between Zubac and Jared Allen for my centers. So Zubac went 5th team. Jared Allen, you're on the 6th team, my man. The forwards, maybe I'm cheating a little bit here. I definitely am cheating here a little bit. Zach LaVine and Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown, he's forward. But Zach LaVine, he's more of a guard. But he has had an unreal season. It's been overlooked. Guilty as charged. I'm just going to pull it up here because the stats are incredible. 23 games, then 4-4. He's played 72 games. 51% shooting from the floor. 45% shooting from deep, if we round up, on obviously an insane amount of attempts, like over 7 attempts per game. That is crazy. He's good at the line, so his effective field goal percentage is like in the 60s. And, he's just been good, and I wanted to give him a little love here, making the 6th team when it comes to All-NBA. And then Kyrie played 50 games. His efficiency was unreal. So I felt that was warranted to put him here before the injury that took him out for the rest of the season. And then Damian Lillard, we barely talked about this year at all.
Yeah.
Dame, and it's been good. It was way better than last year. He's, of course, injured now with the blood clots, but I'm showing those guys some love here. Okay. All-NBA 7th team. Bam Adebayo. Oh, my God. Bad year for Bam, but he's still one of the better centers in the league, at least top 10 in my mind. Franz Wagner is a forward. DeMar DeRozan is a forward. And then my guards, Ja Morant, Trae Young. Again, like I said with these guards, you could take those two, put them up a couple slots. You can move them down a couple slots when you hear other names coming up. But Ja Morant, if he hits the 50-game mark, he's obviously all-NBA talent still. And then Trae Young, still leads the league in assists. He's the numbers are rough. 3-point numbers are rough for Trae this year. But he's the guy that obviously still leads the Hawks to a sub 500 record, if you want to call it leading, but he's still there. All-NBA 8th team. Vucci, baby. Give it up for Trae. Nikola Vucevic for the Bulls. He's the 8th team All-NBA center. I feel like the last time I did this, I had him lower, so he's rising up the ranks.
Wow.
OG Anunoby. He's played really, really well this year. He's played is important. Obviously, defensive reasons coming in here as well. Then Norman Powell, who was lights out for the first couple months, cooled down a little bit, had the injuries, but great year for him as a forward. James Harden, his teammate. Like Trae Young, the efficiency numbers are not great, but he obviously fills a box score. He's played well. And we're going to see James Harden in the playoffs again, which hold on to your butt cheeks with that. And then Devin Booker. I did not know where to put Devin Booker. I admittedly love Devin Booker. I think he's great, but this season was a joke. Mm-hmm. It's not a good year for him. I mean, this guy should be all legit all-NBA, and I believe has once. So to have him 8th here obviously is bad, but he's had a rough year. The score, the assisting went up, but shooting was bad. And this was off that great run with the Olympic squad where he took on more of a role player role, and we thought maybe that would translate, and instead it was a disaster. So I put Booker here. 2 more teams. All-NBA 9th team, Jalen Duren. I'm putting the big guy in here, the Pistons. I went with RJ Barrett. I can't tell you how many times I went back and forth between RJ Barrett and Scotty Barnes. And I'm only including one of them, so spoiler, I didn't put Scotty Barnes on any of these. It's I think Scotty Barnes is a better player than RJ Barrett, but I think RJ Barrett has had a better season overall. You can argue with that one. Derek White is just a damn good player. He doesn't have the stats of some of these guys, but I would take him on any team. And then sort of like Devin Booker, sort of like Trae Young, sort of like James Harden, I'm putting Jamal Murray here and Tyrese Maxey. And Tyrese Maxey, obviously a forgotten season, did play over 50 games. I think he played 52 games. He's been shut down now. He averaged 26 points per game, but this was all without Embiid, mostly without Paul George, and his efficiency tanked. So it's like Trae, it's like Harden. It's not pretty, but he's still a damn good player. And when it's all said and done, when his career's done, he'll have some actual real All-NBA selections, I believe. I don't think he has any to his name right now. I'm going to double check that. One All-Star, no. So just no All-NBA selections for him. But he will when it's all said and done. And then my final team, All-NBA 10th team. This is where you can get crazy. I put Draymond Green here. Again, this is like Draymond Green, and he doesn't even what's he average? He scores like 8 points a game or something, but does everything else. He's better than a majority of players on this list. He's obviously docked because of stats to some extent, but I'll put him on the 10th team as my center. Amen Thompson, love him. He's going to be in the mix here. I love Josh Hart. And then Josh Giddey was a late addition. I think his game last night put him in. I was like, damn, this guy got another triple-double. Is it all for naught? Does it all mean nothing? Maybe, but he's had an incredible, 6 weeks here, maybe more. And then Austin Reeves is my final guard. So Draymond, Amen Thompson, Josh Hart, Josh Giddey, Austin Reeves.
Okay.
10 All-NBA teams. You want some snubs? I got snubs.
Well, I asked ChatGPT. I put all the names in.
Okay.
Of these NBA players who have played at least 50 games. It didn't understand the question. Anyways, it thinks that Shea should be ranked higher. He's on the first all.
It doesn't know. It doesn't know. Stupid computer.
It just doesn't know. Karl Anthony Towns, they want higher as well.
Okay. Okay.
Averaging 24.4 points and 13.6 rebounds per game over 62 games. His contribution have been pivotal in the Knicks' strong performance this year. I mean, I don't know. Fair.
I got him on the second team, Mr. Chat.
I know.
Okay, here are the snubs. I'll go through positions. Centers, Rudy Gobert and Miles Turner, I think, are the two notable center snubs.
Okay.
You could easily put them on, probably starting around the 7th team, at least 8th team. I really wanted a guy like Jalen Duren in there. I do like him. I like what he does. But anyway, they're snubs. Forwards, Trey Murphy III, somehow qualified, enough games played. I think he's a 20-point per game scorer. Julius Randle, Mikal Bridges. I went with OG over him. And then I didn't want another Nick. DeAndre Hunter, begrudgingly. Can't wait for that guy to disappoint Cavs fans in the playoffs. I got to keep leaning into the bit. He's had a good year, though. And then Scotty Barnes, like I said. Scotty, RJ. Are either of them worthy this year? Maybe not. And then guards, there's a ton of guards. I think the most notable snub, and I had him in there until I put Giddey in. I went Jalen Green. Jalen Green and Kobe White and De'Aaron Fox. Those are probably the three biggest snubs. Legit snubs. And then Malik Beasley, hitting over 300 threes. That's awesome. Jordan Poole, bounce back year for Jordan Poole. Can't believe I'm saying it, but he's been pretty decent. Desmond Bane, by far the most forgotten guy on this list all season long, in my opinion. CJ McCollum for the Pelicans, and then Dyson Daniels because of just all the steals, the improved play from him. But, he's like a 14-point per game scorer, but he's been amazing defensively, and I did say I was showing some love to defensive guys like Draymond, like Amen Thompson, Jaren Jackson Jr. higher. Mobley, even having him on the second team was a big reason, but he's a snub.
So do you think?
So those are the snubs.
Do you think that Giddey making 10th team, a little bit of recency bias there?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. At a certain point, it's like I was going to leave him off, and I'm like, guy is literally throwing up triple doubles left and right here.
Yeah.
And it's in wins too, this good run here. I thought he needed to be rewarded. If this was early in the season, this is Kobe White's spot.
Right.
Jalen Green, I feel the worst about. I love the Rockets. And he falls into it's not the sexiest efficiency, but then you see moments where he takes over games. He's got some Jamal Murray in him when I think about it, where it's ooh, the highs are high and the lows can be low. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's probably a bad one. And De'Aaron Fox too, sure. It's a weird season for him. He gets traded. Yep. Then he's sort of forgotten about. He had a 60-point game. Remember that? That happened in November, I think. So he's a deserving snub. So there it is. I almost kept going. I almost did the 11th team, 12th team, just see how far I could take it. But I think it's more fun to name snubs. And now we hear from you guys. Who are the snubs of the snubs? And who did I have wrong? Go nuts. Let me know. I don't think I had a single... I was thinking about which teams I did not have a single guy in the mix. So the Wizards, I did say Jordan Poole as a snub. The Hornets, I couldn't include LaMelo, and then I didn't include Miles Bridges because fuck that guy. Didn't even think about it. You think he scores 20 a game? I was like, no thanks. And I guess Brooklyn. Cam Johnson, I guess, could have been a snub, decent. That's probably it in the Eastern Conference as I look at the teams. And then in the West, yes. I was hard on Minnesota. I nearly forgot about Anthony Edwards, and I snubbed Gobert and Randall. So, ouch. And then Portland. I did not have a guy from Portland, nor did I even give you a snub. Who from Portland? Wow. I guess Anthony Simons. Sure. He's a 19-point per game scorer. Shaedon Sharpe. I love him. He's Canadian.
You did mention the cloud over Durant's head.
Yeah.
Could be from Portland.
Good rain joke.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's right. He lived in Seattle area for a long time. Yeah. Playing for the Sonics. So there it is. So I guess those are the other teams. And then maybe I had some Pelicans, that were in the mix. Trey Murphy III and CJ McCollum. That's it. 10 all-NBA teams. Wow. Very weird thought experiment.
Yeah. It's not that weird.
No?
I mean, it's for sickos, for sure.
Yeah. And that was why the whole bit started.
Right.
Because you start, getting into, who cares?
Right.
But people do. Deeply. And I had the whole rant years ago. We got into a damn argument on air with Trey Kerby about, I'm still convinced that first team all-NBA selections don't really matter. As long as you're just an all-NBA selection, that's generally how we say it.
Right.
We say, Hakeem Olajuwon, 12-time all-NBA selection. And then you go, well, how many all-NBA first teams? Nobody does that.
Right.
But he sort of pushed back on me. He's like, it is important. I'll give credit to him last night, at least, when they were showing Luka. In Luka's case, you can just say first team all-NBA.
Right.
Because that's all he's made.
Right.
But I think that's why it's said, because he's only made those. But anyway, had some fun doing that until I didn't, and then I hated myself. So have at me in the stream team. Have at me in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe. Podcast listeners, 5-star ratings and reviews. Okay, we're going to call it there. I'm not going for an hour 20 by myself here today. Although, JD, you were helping, man. People were like, JD, bringing the NBA takes.
Oh, yes.
You were really bringing it yesterday.
Yeah, thank you.
A little more difficult with the all-NBA teams.
That's very difficult for me, yeah.
Was there
some of these guys I've never heard of?
I was just going to say, was there any name I said that you were like, legit, who is that?
Just scanning quickly. No, I know all these guys.
I think you did too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, good. You know ball.
What I didn't know is how good Mobley is.
Oh, okay.
He would not be on my radar for if I would had to off the top of my head name the top 10 players in the NBA. Mobley.
Okay, that's fair. I heard people I respect. They have Mobley on first team all NBA. Wow. Again, bumping Mitchell down. Mitchell is the wild card to me. I can't tell where people. I think he's going to make the first team. I legit do. I think people won't overthink it. They'll say he is the best player. Mm-hmm. He is their closer on an incredible team. Let's give him that selection. But you could get into convincing me it's Mobley's been more important overall, maybe even Garland in terms of his clutch play. So we'll see, though, when they actually announce the teams. Let's call it there. We're back tomorrow. Tass is back. Maybe we'll just do the Trop podcast.
Yeah, I guess, sure.
We haven't done rapid fire in a while.
That's true.
Tass already is calling a shot with some worst of the week nominees, so we'll probably do that. And we'll talk about tonight's games as well, and maybe get you all set for the final weekend of regular season basketball. And what to watch, what games matter, maybe give you a little primer or something like that. We could also do all NBA awards and real all NBA awards and other awards. Options. But coming up later today, if you're a Survivor fan, this is great. We're going to recap episode 7 from last night. It was a double elimination, so lots to talk about. And looky, we got Rome Cooney from Survivor 47, one of the biggest characters from last season.
Oh, yeah.
He's coming on the show to break it all down with us. You know we're going to have questions about the behind the scenes of playing Survivor.
Oh, so totally.
Can't wait.
Perfect as well, because he got voted out the same episode in his season.
Did he get voted out in a double elimination?
Well, he was the last one that was eligible to be on the jury, and he wasn't on the jury.
You're right. Okay. So he went out basically the exact same time.
I think so.
Yeah. I think you're right about that. Well, perfect. Lots to talk about with Rome. That'll be myself, JD, Nora, and our guest Rome from Survivor 47 talking about last night's episode. So looking forward to that. No Bust has its own YouTube feed, its own podcast feed. So just go and subscribe to wherever you watch or listen to it. Okay. We'll see you tomorrow here from the Classic Factory. Until then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. Hit that little bell, like JD said. And remember, be the weird you want to see in the world. Brace the day, people.